Allegedly, Claris is very controlling, and Claris herself, she does not respect James. That is the word on the street. That channel could be the end of that marriage. If these people will not manage their channel very well, it will be very hard for them to run the channel. I've heard they have a joint account. There's nothing like joint account. The channel is Has, Lynette, and Chalo are doing good. People are out here fighting the true philanthropists, yet themselves they are Mwitu. Mwitu means fake.
Yeah, 15 liters. Yes. Alafu na hiyo chuma grill. Hata kuna wheelbarrow ilikuwa imeenda kwenye mjengo, lakini hiyo kama tutapewa pia na tumeacha huko.
And also wheelbarrow.
Yeah. Yaani tuko tayari kama kuchukua vitu vyake achukue, lakini tukae na amani lakini video zetu azitoe katika channel yetu kwa sababu
So the devil has got 3 responsibilities: to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So who is the devil here? I'm not the one just because I was hiding. The devil I want to talk about is none other than Jihan Sharif. So apparently Jihan Sharif did not come to save a life. Jihan Sharif never came to Kenya, all the way from United Arab Emirates, to save a life. Who were her targets and who have been her targets? You guys may have thought like, Jihan came to help Claris. That's a lie. That's a lie. The devil comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And the first thing that Jihan Sharif has done is to destroy and to kill. Right now as we are speaking, Jihan made sure by the time she's leaving Vipingo, she has already killed the relationship between Claris and Lynette_KE to a situation where it is not repairable. I'll be giving a very good analysis towards those statements that I've just made right here. Now let me just sit down so that we can have a candid conversation throughout. See, there's no way someone is willing to book a ticket all the way from United Arab Emirates, travel down to Kenyan coast to help somebody. She left her comfort zone, like I have explained in other videos. She left her comfort zone in United Arab Emirates, traveled all the way to Kenyan coast, met Claris, and then it seems like she just came to help her. No, that's not the case. And how do I know that? I know that because I'm seated down here and there's a lot of drama that is going on. Apparently there's a lot of drama that is going on. So what we have Claris and the husband. There's a video they made and they claim that recently, now not actually recently, like a day before, Lynette_KE has started to take some of the cooking items that were bought for the sake of Claris and AVL, and now they're taking those things back. Now, in an interview that they did with Masubo One and JT Podcast, actually, I got that information from JT Podcast. Man, that's crazy. So, what would my advice for AVLB if that's true? If that's true, because all we have and all we have been having are statements that are being made either by the proxies, and all those statements are being uploaded on the proxies, not necessarily on Claris's or James' YouTube channel. Actually, James doesn't even have a YouTube channel. So the information we receive, we only receive information that has been uploaded from different YouTube channels. That is like, the proxies. Like we have JT Podcast and we have Masubo One's podcast. So that's where we get information, but we do not have concrete evidence. Remember, everything you've heard so far, there is no evidence apart from the ones that have been spoken by either James himself or Claris. And Claris, now James is actually the one who said in Swahili, though he was speaking Swahili. And like I told you, I'm a Kenyan, so you do not have to expect me not to know how to speak in Swahili. I speak very good Swahili. Well, I comprehend they speak better Swahili. Like if you compare Claris, by the way, when it comes to languages, Claris they speak very attractive Swahili. JT Podcast and Masubo One, they come from Nyabohanse. It also neighbors Tanzania. They also speak Swahili Sanifu. Like their Swahili, it's not like the one I speak. Where I come from, we have a lot of Sheng because our Swahili, it's Swahili still. You understand everything, but ours, it's like it's not that Sanifu. It's not like when we talk about English, it's not like the Oxford English. The same thing when it comes to Swahili, it's not like the Oxford type of Swahili. I know you guys understand. You guys are not stupid. You guys are smart people. Anyways, we are not here to discuss about languages. We are here to talk about Claris, Jihan, Lynette underscore KA, and analyze everything else that comes with it. So I'll start this by saying that the biggest responsibility, the role that Jihad had come to play when she went back to Vipingo was to destroy, to kill, and to steal. So what did Jihan come to steal? Jihan had come to steal Claris's audience. Claris's audience. The audience that has been supporting Claris at AVL. That is the exact thing that Jihan had come to steal, even though she wasn't prepared for what was coming. Because apparently, you see, if you're coming to steal, you needed to have been prepared. She wasn't ready for what was going to happen next because she thought she's only going to come there for one day, establish a YouTube channel for Claris, and then leave. What ended up happening is that she needed to do some follow-up. Now, this follow-up that she's going to do, it has really cost her a lot of money. And now that she's broke, she's out. So right now, she hasn't uploaded any video. As a matter of fact, there's a new character, there's a new person that has been introduced to us. The sister, there's somebody new. See, the devil comes to steal, to destroy. Now, Jihan, kindly stop sending insects my way. I'm doing a video about you. Do not send insects my way. I'm going to slap them. So apparently, somebody new has been introduced called Maria. And the role of Maria, you guys, you thought that when these people have a new YouTube channel, that all the money that is going to be sent, all this kind of support that she's going to have is going to be channeled towards Claris and Claris's phone. Well, they may have claimed that the new phone number they are going to use will be handled by them, even though Maria is Claris's sister. So you guys, you won't tell me that Maria is also very naive, that her number is used. People are going to send money through her number, the sister to Claris. And the explanation that was provided is that the reason as to why they don't want to use their own numbers is so that they are not hacked. So you guys, do you want to tell me that the sister, Maria, to Claris might not go behind the sister's back and do something about that money? Again, don't you see something here? Don't you see something here? Already, James doesn't understand one thing, that his family has already been infiltrated. These people are right in his bedroom, and something bad, I smell something bad might happen. Because you see, as much as they say they are going to be managing that number is not registered either Claris or James. This is the other question I need to ask you. What if Jihan has a side chat with Maria? Because apparently, what I understand as a Kenyan is the SIM card, the one that they are going to use when it comes to Safaricom, because here we use Safaricom mainly for mobile to mobile money transfer. It's not legal. It is not legal. Actually, let me say I'll be 50-50 on this one. But if somebody went to approached the company that is providing that service to Maria or to the Clarices, and they exposed that part where they went to register using somebody else's details, but they are not the users. Like, you do everything with my details, but I'm not the one who's going to receive. Aren't you seeing the same pattern? You see, when they came up and they opened up about them being just, okay, Clarice being just an actor or an actress on AVL, but she doesn't own that YouTube channel. Isn't it the same thing that we are seeing repeating itself? She is the one who is having the phone. She's the one who is having all the details of the sister. But I mean, she's the money will be coming like to her using the sister's details and numbers. Don't you think there's going to be some conflict in one way or the other? Do you think Maria is that stupid that money will be coming in through her phone, through her details? What if her sister wants to have a SIM card by herself? Do you know by the time she goes to the company, to the M-Pesa, here we call them to Safaricom, wherever shop, if she goes now and she wants to open an account or to register, like we call it registering now, if she wants to register a SIM card, it's going to be difficult now. It's going to be a challenge because already her details have been used. And M-Pesa here in Kenya is a big thing. Actually, like now, when I'm seated here, it's very easy for me to pull money from my bank account because with my phone, I have an app for the bank that I use. And I can transfer money from that bank to my M-Pesa account. Now again, I can transfer money from my M-Pesa account and pay for Uber. I can transfer money from because we also have Ubers here, I can transfer money from my M-Pesa account, pay for anything I want. If I want food delivered right to my doorstep, it will. So this M-Pesa is a very huge thing. That account is a huge thing. And if she thinks like it can't be hacked, Maria can do something. They can cook something with Claris. I'm not trying to say like Claris or they have a hidden agenda. In any case, the person I think has a hidden agenda, and that's why she advised Claris to use Maria's details. Wherever you're being told, like, she's scared that her number might be hacked and all that nonsense, all you need to do is go to the M-Pesa customer care, and all those things can be sorted out. Again, whose number? They have different numbers. You can always register a different SIM card. You can have more than one SIM card. Let me make it that clear. Clarice can have more than one SIM card. So this idea that money will be coming to Maria's number, I highly doubt. I believe that Jihan is using tricks. Jihad Sharif is using new tricks here. So that money that is going to be channeled for Clarice, first of all, comes to her, and then she can decide on whether to distribute it or not. But that's information that you cannot be told, because the only information, these people are so smart, the only information they want you to hear is information you want to hear. Right now, all we are waiting to hear is that Clarice's YouTube channel is now monetized, so that people can be sending those super chats, super slaps, all those things. That's all we want to hear. And so these people, they are maximizing on any given opportunity to give you information that you want to hear. But is it factual? Is it the truth? That's where I'm coming in. Because right now, you cannot believe anybody. You cannot trust anybody. At this point, Jihan, the devil, came to steal, to kill, and to destroy. She has already destroyed the credibility of Linet_KE. She has already destroyed that relationship in a way that there's no way that relationship can be repaired. And now, people are thinking that the only enemy that Jihan has is Linet_KE. No. The biggest enemy for Jihan is indeed Claris. That's the biggest enemy, but people don't want to see that. Jihan is not working to help Claris. Jihan is working to kill Claris. Jihan is working to kill Claris's future career. Why is it that this was supposed to be, since last week, her role was one simple role: go open up a YouTube channel for Claris. Once you're done opening up a YouTube channel for Claris, anything else will sort it out. All we don't want anything to do with this drama. All we want is for you to focus on that YouTube channel. But guess what is happening? Now, Masubo One and JT Podcast, who I believe are the proxies for Claris and Jihan, now they've started doing the interviews. When they came, their main goal was to do an interview with Claris to expose Linet_KE. That was the goal. Initially, when they traveled all the way from Nyabuhansa in Nairobi to Kenyan coast, the goal here was to expose Linet_KE. They intended to do an interview that was quickly shut down the first day. Claris did not want to do an interview with anybody because even now, she's not speaking. The person who is speaking is James. Claris has learned a lesson, probably because of what they had, the conversation they had at the DCI, Director of Criminal Investigation. And of course, maybe she understands like anything that she says can be used against her. Because as we proceed, what I'm seeing, there's a possibility that if things are escalated beyond where they already are, I smell some court case, and I know who is going to win and I know who is going to lose. So at this point, if things escalate, and if there's one person who's really protected her brand, and if there's one person who is really protecting her brand at any cost, is the devil herself, Jihan. Jihan is making sure that anything that can bring drama, that can bring chaos, is not uploaded on her YouTube videos. Reactors don't care about reputation. Reactors don't care about reputation. In any case, reactors thrive when there's negative publicity. That's how reactors thrive. Because, you see, if I come hammering Linet_KE, those who love Claris will come to me. Because right now, already, like I said last time, there are people who seem like they are supporting Linet. And there are those, we have a division here. We have two sides of the camps. And each camp has got fans. And then we have guys who are like, I'm supporting both. I'm for both. And there are also guys who are like, F Linet, F Claris. This is BS. I did not subscribe for this. I subscribed for cook videos and elevation of that community. I did not subscribe to this channel for drama. If I want drama, I can go and subscribe to Emperor_Henry here if they want information. But when it comes to cooking and elevating that village, they will directly go to AVL or Claris African Village when there's no drama. Again, AVL Claris African Life is not the only cooking videos. or cooking channel in Africa. Right now, as we are speaking, AVL, of course, was pioneering. It was still and still is at the top as we are speaking. Because right now, AVL is still accumulating a lot of views as we speak. So whoever thought like they coming to completely annihilate, obliterate, terminate, destroy, kill, whoever thought they're coming to kill AVL, they got it wrong, baby. You got it wrong. They got it wrong. Because as we are speaking, right now, AVL is having a lot of views. And the person who was coming to kill AVL is none other than Jihan. Honestly speaking, Jihan, the devil herself. The devil comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. The relationship between Claris and Lynette_KE is already destroyed. And now, once the devil is done doing the deed, the devil is out. What did she steal? She stole some viewers, some subscribers. Because apparently, when you look at all those YouTube channels, they really gained subscribers courtesy of this drama. And a lot of subscribers, mark you, a lot of subscribers have been gained by all of us combined. Courtesy of this drama. This drama is good for people who are reacting. Actually, the people who are benefiting from all this story are reactors, because reactors don't invest a lot. Right now, I've spoken for like 20 minutes. For a content creator who has to travel, do all those things, they have not yet arrived to their destination. Yet, I'm already 20 minutes in doing my analysis. That's how different it is. And at the end of the day, I'll have some views, I'll have some subscribers here and there. So that's why I'm saying the people who benefit the most from all this are reactors. These other people are not really benefiting. And like I'm saying, and like I'm going to continue insisting here, the person who is going to lose most in this is Claris. Already, Lynette has lost some credibility in one way or the other because of the stories that are being given, the stories that are being provided. But let me explain how Jihan is destroying, or Jihan has destroyed, Claris moving forward. You see, she came as a savior. She came in as the rescuer, right? That's what people want to hear. And I understand that. People want to hear that. Like some of you who don't want to know the truth, some of you who are just being carried by emotions, what they want to hear is that Jihan is the savior, Jihan is the rescuer, Jihan is a Muslim, she cannot do something bad. That's what they want to hear. And guess what? Sometimes you sit down and think about your audience. When it comes to content creation, you have to sit down and think about your audience. What does my audience want to hear? The audience want to hear that I am the savior. I came and met Claris in a very bad situation, and I wanted to save her life. But in reality, she is the devil. This whole fight, Jihan is the enemy, but people don't want to see it. Right now, first of all, she thought she would destroy Lynette completely. It has failed. Because when you look at the views and what Lynette is doing, when you look at Lynette's views, all the videos she has done for the last 1 week on AVL, they are above 100k views. Mark you, her videos are 1 hour plus, which means a lot. When you think about Claris African Village, the videos that she has done, she started with a very high note. And then when you look at the viewers, they have declined to some point. And then the first video they made it to be long. But the videos they have later done, they are not that long. As much as there's an explanation that was given, it's because her channel hasn't yet been monetized. But still, I would highly suggest they continue. What if it's going to take 1 week or 2 weeks? You need to sit down and continue engaging with your subscribers. But guess what kind of videos are being posted on her channel. This drama. Instead of transforming her YouTube channel to be solely cooking, look at what Jihan, the enemy, has done. Her channel, the only videos that are being posted on her channel, they have nothing to do with this drama. They have nothing to do with this drama. Those videos are focused on the mission of her YouTube channel. When you look at Claris' new YouTube channel, these guys who are pretending to manage her, they don't care. They're just posting anything right now. And that is going to destroy that channel. Even the algorithm gets confused. So the algorithm might want to recommend her YouTube videos to the wrong audience. Because when it comes to YouTubing, it's very different. Like I have explained a lot of times. It's very, very different. And I have explained it a lot of times. So now, why is Claris or why is Jihan coming to destroy? Because Jihan's YouTube channel or Jihan's foundation works in a similar way to Linet_KE. Now, when you think about Claris has a huge following. She has traffic. Jihan doesn't want that. You guys, you kind of feel like Jihan is so much concerned about Claris. No! Jihan looks at Claris as a competitor. Jihan looks at Linet_KE as a competitor. So this was a very strategic move to kill one bird. To kill two birds with one stone. That was the intention here. That was the goal. Because when you think about Claris's YouTube channel, they are killing it. See, there's no way you're going to start a company and you don't understand the purpose, the mission, the vision. What are the standards? What do we work for? What makes this company? What makes this YouTube channel? What is the goal? By the way, now that I'm remembering, I'll have to go and look at the description of Claris African Village YouTube channel. I'll have to sit down, go and look at that YouTube channel and kind of look at the description that has been provided. I'll have to sit down and think about that description. Because when you're starting a YouTube channel, there is a goal. One of the goals and one of the mistakes that I see here is that the biggest concern, by the way, where this beef is coming in, where this drama has continued, is money. They're not looking at anything else apart from money. They are not looking at anything else apart from money. And that's why they are so limited. Like I explained in the other video, it's very difficult for them. It's going to be a little bit difficult for them to expand their wings and fly. You understand? Because they don't have the mindset they should be having for that YouTube channel moving forward has already been altered. They are supposed, those YouTube channels, when you think about the vision and the mission of AVL, it's about elevating these women from where they were to somewhere else. When you think about the standards of the house that are being built, great. And by the way, one of the reasons as to why I still feel AVL is doing a very good job is because you see, Claris's house was the first house to be built. To be honest, the standards that are being used on Kaschana's house and the standards that are being used on Mama Jogo's house are way higher compared to the standards on Claris's house. Even though Again, there was an explanation that was provided, and it made sense to me. It made a lot of sense. That's their ancestral land. But again, Claris and James, they have another piece of land that was bought. That's a story that we are not told. That's a story that the other camp doesn't want to talk about. They're only picking at those points where Lynette underscore KE may have made a mistake as a human being. Of course, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. But when you sit down here and start looking at all these things, when you're not under the cycle of emotions, when you allow your emotions to be your emotions and you allow your brain to operate, you'll understand where I'm coming from as well. When you think about the standards of the houses that are being built right now, we are talking about Mama Chogo's house and Kastana's house. The standards are high. Guess who doesn't want philanthropy to take that angle? Jihan. Jihan has a similar foundation to that of Lynette. In any case, Jihan, the hypocrite, is the one who started this kind of videos. Lynette picked it up, perfected, and she outshined the master. And now the master is furious because when the master gets the money, the master wanted to keep all the money and make houses that are not up to standards. You guys might want to go and look at the kind of houses that are being built by Jihan. Man, shame. Jihan is a shameless woman. All from United Arab Emirates, and I'm still curious to identify her immigration status. Well, I don't even know if she's from UAE, but word from the streets is that she's from UAE. Word from the streets. And if she's from UAE, I would want to know her immigration status. And if she's from UAE, then she ought to be ashamed of herself. Instead of her coming and working with the locals, she's coming and to divide and separate the locals. Who does that? If you think about these tourism companies, these conservancies, they work with the local community. They employ the local community. So when she comes to Kenya, she's supposed to work with the locals of this country. She's supposed to work with Lynette underscore KE and not the other way around like she wanted to explain. Jihan, the hypocrite. See the hypocrisy. Jihan is the devil here. The devil comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. Now, this devil wanted to kill the mission and the standards of the houses that was being built. See, when you think about Jihan is also using what do we call it? GoFundMe. She has opened up GoFundMe on the projects she's doing. But she doesn't want to match the standards that are being set by Lynette underscore KE. And I need you to understand this clearly. When you think about philanthropy here in Kenya, a lot of times, these people who have foundations, they will come and dig a pit latrine. Instead of advancing these people to the first world standards. Like now, when you start thinking about the houses, the two houses that I've mentioned, Mama Chogo and Kasichana, when you start thinking about the standards of those houses, the quality, it's within the global standards. At least the bed that was bought for Mama Chogo, it's a very good bed. Let's be honest. So, Lynette underscore KE has already set some standards that if you are going to do philanthropy, this is how you're going to do it. If you are going to do videos, YouTube videos, as much as it's philanthropy, you're not going to do silly, stupid videos. Those videos must be well edited. That's a full production. Jihan doesn't want that. Jihan wants this philanthropy thing. She wants the stereotype that you guys have always heard about Africa. She wants to maintain that stereotype. so that she can milk funds. That's who Jihan is. That's what she's doing. She wants to destroy the effort that has already been made by Lynette_K when it comes to YouTubing these women. And now she's already fighting Claris. She has realized that she cannot fight Lynette_K. And these are some of the hidden things. Sometimes you're gonna have to look at these people and see their hypocrisy, the way it comes out in a very subtle way. And you see, when it comes directly to fighting Lynette_K, she knew she can't go to Vipingo alone. She needed people like Masubo One, and Masubo One also realized that he's not that armed to go directly to that place. So Masubo One invited JT Podcast. That's how they are all linked. Masubo One with Jihan. Then Masubo One links to JT Podcast. And of course, the one person who has been inciting Masubo One is that lazy woman from Nigeria, Coco Drama, Coco Snake. That's how they are linked. But the goal here is to completely destroy these two women, because the easiest way for her to move forward with her foundation, she doesn't want competition. You see, Jihan understands that for her to get a lot of support from people, and especially those from different parts of the world, she has to eliminate her competitors. This is business. YouTube is business. Have you ever seen one company going to support a similar company? But let's be real, because this is serious business. The issue here was money. And Jihan understands, like, there's no way Claris is going to start making money immediately. So she wanted to come, destroy this thing, eliminate the threat to some level, and then bounce and go and continue making her videos. And by the time she's bouncing, what has she stolen? Remember, the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. I've already said she has to come and steal some viewers, some subscribers. Well, that intention is really failing to some extent. But she still did some damage here. She stole. There's no way you're coming to make such a move when there are no casualties. There are casualties here. Right now, as we are speaking, who is losing? Claris. By the way, if there's one person who has really been losing, it's Claris. For the last 2 weeks, yes, she has uploaded like 3 videos on her YouTube channel, but she hasn't really gained a lot. And this drama has continued. The people who have been supporting AVL, I watched and I looked at the comment section, and I realized that, wait, AVL has a lot of support. Just like Claris has a lot of support. These are two camps that are already divided. And imagine somebody can travel all the way from UAE to come and divide, to come and cause division. This is what makes me mad about our people. Imagine an African going to UAE, going to Dubai, meets two friends, two Arabic friends. Imagine a Muslim, imagine you as a Christian moving to UAE. You go and meet two Arabic friends or two Arabs that are friends, and you try to go in between them. Or you just imagine you trying to divide Latinos, or you try to divide and you go in a different country. Like I travel all the way from this country, go in another country and try to divide another race like Asians and all those people. See, the stupidity we have is huge. Imagine, do you think that would ever happen? And let me ask you a question. African cooking channels are not the only channels that exist. Those are not the only channels that exist. The thing is, these cooking channels, they have been an opportunity for different cultures to witness how different cultures do their thing. And that's why these village videos are doing so great, if you realized. By the way, let's diversify our thinking here. If you go and watch the Asians and the way they cook, the foods they cook, and the mission and the purpose of their cooking, because there's an Indian in India, there's a channel. I watch their reels and their extended YouTube videos. They cook a lot of food, but again later on, once they're done cooking, they eat, and then later on you see them on the streets feeding homeless people. You see them feeding the homeless people. Now, this is where I need you to understand that Jihan is killing and destroying Claris. You know, they're making her look like a star. They're getting into her head and making her look like a star instead of them sitting down and look at the story. Look at the story. What is the story? Because those videos have to be scripted in one way or the other. You can't just wake up and make that video just like that. They have to be scripted in one way or the other. But what is the story behind? What is the story behind? Why am I cooking? Like I explained in another video. Right now, when you think about Mama Chogo and Kasichana, why are they cooking? Who are they cooking for? The who part is already there. They are guys who are building. They cannot build and then start cooking. So they are building for them. Then what are the dishes? What are the cuisines that are being cooked here? Traditionally, ugali is a big thing here in Kenya and in different parts of Africa, but it's called a different name. And the texture is also different. So when it comes to Kenya, there's a way ugali is supposed to be cooked. And you are showing the world, this is how we cook ugali. Once we are done cooking with ugali, it's just a starch. What are we supposed to eat with? Again, what is the diet here? Because there are people watching. Traditionally, if you were cooking that food, those people who lived by those days, they understood diet. They are not just cooking for the sake of cooking. They are cooking with a diet in mind. Do we have vitamins? Do we have proteins? Do we have carbs? Do we have all these things? So it's not just cooking. But guess what the complaint is about? They have taken the sufurias. The sufurias are these large cooking pots. These large cooking African pots. And then that beef is being aired on their YouTube channel. There are people who are serious. They don't want to watch for drama. They don't want drama. They don't want to watch drama. As a matter of fact, that drama should have ended last week. The goal was to create a new YouTube channel for Claris and help her to create YouTube videos. Right now, the kind of information we should be receiving is how far has James gotten when it comes to videographing and editing. Not these side shows. That's the information we are supposed to be having. But guess who is not ready for that? The devil comes to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So the devil doesn't want that. Doesn't want to see. The devil doesn't want to see the audience to see data or information about James' progress or Claris's progress on the YouTube channel. No. Because that means that James will have really competed with her. Remember, this is a business. She has already done videos with Claris and she has realized that as much as she's featured with Claris, She would have thought, like, once she does a video with Claris, Jihan thought that if she does a video with Claris, that video is going to skyrocket. That hasn't happened. That hasn't happened. She thought she's going to be making 100 plus on a video. Trust you me, if Lynette, and this is just a scenario I'm trying to paint, if Lynette were to do a video with Claris, trust you me, that video would make views for days. That video would make views for days. That one you can trust me. You can trust me on that. It would make views for days. So Jihan looks at Claris not as a person she's coming to rescue. She doesn't look at Claris as a victim. She looks at Claris as a competitor. These are businesses. Jihan understands the power of social media. Claris doesn't know that. Claris doesn't understand the power of social media. Now, let's think about it. Now that there's a new number, we have Maria who has been introduced to this. And the purpose of them registering with that number, they registered a bank account, a joined bank account. That means James cannot withdraw money if Claris is not there. Claris can't withdraw money if James is not there. But again, now we have a number where people can send money via M-Pesa, Sendwave, all those. Now that number has been registered under Claris's sister. Don't you think that is fishy? Don't you think that is fishy? And the explanation that was provided is that they don't want to be in a situation a similar incident happens, like the one that happened once her number was given out. But again, that's why you sit down and start asking questions. In the first place, why was her number leaked by Coco Mama, JT Podcast, and Masubo One? Don't you think that was done intentionally so that that number could be hacked or misused, so that she no longer trusts her own number? She has to also operate under somebody else. What was the idea of starting Claris's YouTube channel? You guys, what were you told? The last time I checked, what you were told is that that YouTube channel was started so that they can become independent. Do you see them being independent up to now? Are they? Are they independent? Are they getting money? No. Everybody else is getting money. Everybody else is getting exposure through them. Everybody else is getting advertisement through them. Through Claris, to be honest. But is Claris really benefiting? No, she's not. And that's the sad story. As we are speaking right now, I wish, and that's why I said, the easiest way that this whole thing could have been handled was all of them, the three of them, putting aside their egos, because all of them have got their own issues. Putting aside their egos, they just make a video together. And even in future, the only way that that's going to work is if they do that. Right now, a lot of people have been involved. I mean, imagine somebody else using my number. They are using my number to get money. I don't have access. They used my details. They used my details to get whatever they want. But I can't use my details. Like, don't I have needs? How stupid could I be? As much as that would have been my brother. What if something? Let me help you understand here. And let me explain why it's illegal. What if that number is used to conduct an illegal business? What if it's used, somebody sends money through that number? We are dealing with two extremely naive people. Or if somebody uses that number for illegal businesses, don't you think Maria will be in danger? And I don't see how that number is going to work for long. I'm somehow convinced that there's already somebody who has contacted Safaricom over that, because everything was done on camera, and so they have evidence. They can go to customer care and report that. It's very, very serious. Remember, you guys, everything you're watching, and every thought you're going to have is based on what is being told on the online media spaces. But the reality on ground, you need somebody to explain to you how the Kenyan laws work. Because even if they claim they're going to report, they're going to have, a pro bono lawyer, a lawyer who is not going to be paid. There's a lot they're not going to achieve. And that's why I'm saying Jihan has come to destroy her main competitor. Her main competitor is Claris. Jihan has women she's dealing with. So you guys, if you don't focus on Claris, you're going to focus on the women Jihan is trying to manage. Jihan knows she can't come to manage Claris because the audience doesn't want that. They want Claris to be her own brand. They want Claris to run her own thing her own way. And when we think about James being taught how to do videography and edit, do you think she will do a good job at that? Do you know how much time, when it comes to editing, like the software I use to edit, I taught myself how to, everything I'm doing here, I've taught myself. I just go to YouTube, I learn. Sometimes you learn them by mistake. You try to do this and this and this, it works out. These are things, it's trial and error. Once you have a gadget, you have to try to do some little tweaking here and there to see if you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve. But honestly, 1 week for a guy like James is not that educated. He's not a tech savvy guy. So he doesn't understand about videography, noise cancellation, all those things. You won't tell me this guy who doesn't have, we don't even know whether he has a high school certificate. You won't tell me this guy is all of a sudden a tech savvy guy who knows how to do videography and all those things. In 1 week, he has all that mastered here. Right now, as we are speaking, when it comes to African village life YouTube videos, if there's a person who is really perfected the art of videography, editing and all those things, storytelling, it's AVL. And I kind of feel there is a reason as to why people are still watching AVL. And then, he has brought in something else that the whole world is not doing. When it comes to African village life, it's not just about cooking. It's about transformation. It's not just about cooking. It's transformation, because at the end of the day, these YouTube things are making money. It is about transformation. And AVL has already brought that out. The kind of transformation that Jihan had in mind is not the same transformation that Lynette had in mind. Lynette has a bigger, broader vision when it comes to transformation. And the only way I can explain that is by asking you to think about Mama Chogo and Kasichana's house. Look at the foundation. Look at the strip foundation. They are using bars, reinforcement bars, concrete. The foundation is well dug so that we don't have cracks in future. It doesn't, failures here and there. A well done foundation using locally available materials. It's also teaching you something that when it comes to construction, you don't necessarily have to buy materials. I don't know, you bought this from Tanzania. Or they're using locally available materials. They're trying to blend architecture with nature. There is a story. There are lessons. We learn things. You see, when you watch for the sake of watching, without asking questions, it becomes a little bit difficult. You might not understand the purpose of that video. Jihan wanted to destroy that storytelling, that type of storytelling. Honestly, if you would watch Jihan, as much as they're complaining about the house that Lynette built for Claris, honestly, if you would compare the house that was built for Claris and the one that Jihan has built, no comparison. And Jihan doesn't want to raise the standards. She doesn't want to raise the standards. That's why she's fighting Lynette. She's not just, she's actually, like I said, she's fighting both of them. You people think like she came to support Claris? No. She's fighting both of them. Remember, Claris was her protege. Claris was her project. Claris is a neglected child. Claris is a neglected project. She came, started something with Claris, just like she has done. She has come, started something with Claris, and then left. When she feels she can't manage it, she leaves. Then somebody else comes, builds Claris, and then she comes back. That's what she wants people to see. Like she's the brain behind this, but she did not invest anything on those brands. But this time, she's not coming to build, she's coming to destroy. Remember the statement she said. Her audience did not like Claris. That's her statement. That was what Jihan said. And mark you, by the time Jihan is making that statement, don't you think that's character assassination? That's a statement that was made by Jihan towards Claris. And you won't tell me, you guys, you think that she is there to help Claris. No. How do you help a competitor? It's either you collaborate towards a common goal. But Claris is a competitor for Jihan. Jihan doesn't want that. In any case, I kinda tend to believe Jihan would be happy if Claris and James divorce. You see, in such a scenario, Claris loses something. Because people will be like, this is money and fame that is causing this divorce. And then, of course, there's going to be that pool and whatever about the kids. You guys know how divorce works. Something else that can easily resort to a divorce is money. Remember, money is going to be coming in on whose number? Maria's sister's number. That's what you were told. You were told what you want to hear. It's different. There's a difference between what you want to hear and the reality on the ground. what you want to hear is that Clarice is in charge of all her money. That's what you want to hear. The reality on the ground is different. Do you think it has taken simple convincing for them to agree that her number is going to be registered under the sister's number? I wish it was registered under the mom's number, under the mother's number. It's way easier because the mom doesn't care about technology. Maria is a young girl. She understands technology. What if Maria has all her details? She has her ID. She has all the details. So if Maria decided to go and block that number, if Maria went to the customer care, provided details, and said probably there's somebody who is using my number, changes the pins and all those things, she will have access to that money and it will benefit her. This story is not as easy as it sounds. The devil has come to kill, to destroy, and to steal. So far, he's managed to do so. She has managed to do so. And seemingly it's like she's getting away with it. Well, let's wait and see. I'll be coming up with another discussion shortly or later on during the day. I'm right from watching the World Cup finals. I'm glad, by the way, Spain won that World Cup. At least have a good one. Take care.